And I just hope I'm not waking up bad blood again, but I promised the public that I would have brought you so we hear your side. What went wrong with the committee that visited Yekepa recently to do an assessment of some of the things Aslamanda said it was doing? I'm asking because the chair of that committee, your colleague Senator Numenu T.H. Batikwa, was here. And he said, why is Nya behaving like he didn't know we're going there? He was informed. We got to Ganta. We spoke to Nya. In fact, he said, what Nya did was terrible. The people would have seized us. They would have beaten us. He's from Nimba. He spoke the way he spoke with all kinds of characterization of the committee. But then he went on to say, Asla Mentao insisted that we should not put Senator Twayen on the delegation. Sorry for the words, because he's quote unquote, I don't want to use, but he's tough. He's arrogant. He seemed not to be listening to us. And so we decided to take the company's instruction because we did not want confusion. What went wrong?
First of all, I did not know that they were going to Nimba. That's the first thing I want to establish. Second of all, they had no business going to Nimba. That's the second point. Third of all, you cannot sit on public radio as an elected official of your country and tell the population that the company that you should be having oversight over tells you who not to come to a meeting. First of all, fun fact, I have been invited more than 15 times. I got receipt to that for a one-on-one meeting with the CEO of ArcelorMittal. I have turned those meetings down. I do not want to even meet ArcelorMittal, just ordinarily, other than a formal organized Senate hearing or a briefing with the Legislative Caucus. I have repeated that to them. So even if I was invited on that trip, I wouldn't have gone. The fact that that trip was going to be even on ArcelorMittal's concessional ground, I was never going to go there because I don't see the rationale of going there. Why are you going there? You going to inspect?
This is a committee set up a plenary, Senator.
First of all, let me clarify this. The public needs to know that the Senate, being robust, is trying to set up a comprehensive committee comprised of different chairpersons and committee members to review all of the concessions in the country, to have a workshop, let's say a retreat, whereby there will be international experts, people who got, wealth of knowledge in mining, integrity institution, who got expertise in how to track, taxation and transparency. The Senate going to bring them together along with concessionaires to actually look into what we can do to improve our deals with the concessionaires. That committee was announced, the MDA committee sort of, and it was announced to plan a retreat of the Senate that has not taken place yet. It was not meant to go and visit ArcelorMittal. I wrote a complaint to the Senate plenary. It was endorsed, and ArcelorMittal came for the briefing. We had a 4 hours briefing that didn't end, and so we postponed the hearing and we kept them on an oath. So by matter of fact, ArcelorMittal is still going on a Senate hearing, but then we closed. So when we resume in October, ArcelorMittal by right should be coming to answer additional questions. If in the wisdom of Chairman Badikwa and the Senate leadership, ArcelorMittal shouldn't come, then we will send them the questionnaire to answer them to come. That will lead us to, preparing our final report and advisory to put out there to say these are our findings from Senator Nya Twayen's complaint against ArcelorMittal. While all that hasn't been done, what are you going to do to AML? Let me tell you the purpose of that trip. That trip was meant, ArcelorMittal planned that trip because of the negative media attention they've been getting. So they wanted a publicity stunt to portray out there that, oh yeah, you got, a couple of lawmakers, including Senator Twayen, making noise on us, bringing us under scrutiny. Here we are working with, heads of committees of the Senate. That's all it was for.
You think so?
Yes, it was a publicity stunt. I will not tell you my source. It was a publicity stunt. And it failed miserably because I I had to come in, and inform the public about the surreptitious.
You think it failed? Senator Batikwa said they will submit their report to plenary when you return.
Which are the report?
The committee's report.
But the committee has not yet concluded her hearings with Asilometer. So where is the report coming from? So at the end of the day, Clarence, let's be practical a little bit. You say you have a committee that was set up by plenary. First of all, that's false. The committee was set up to plan a retreat to bring concessionaires together along with integrity.
That particular committee?
That committee. It was never set up to visit Asilometer because Asilometer is still on ongoing hearing with us. Now, let's assume for the sake of the argument that committee, has the latitude to visit Asilometer. Why did Chairman Badikwa tell you that Asilometer chose who to go there and who not to go there?
Because they said the company did not want confrontation.
Am I a confrontational guy?
They said maybe
they just found someone who can read now, who can dive into the agreement and actually pinpoint things that they are not doing. That's all. Asilometer hates that. They've always done that to undermine people. Second of all, why didn't you announce your travel in the Senate chat room?
It wasn't announced in your chat room?
No. So, thirdly, why didn't you announce your travel in the concession committee chat room that I am a part? That trip was nicodemously planned by Asilometer as a publicity stunt to prove to the public that they had the legislature or members of the Senate on their side. And it failed miserably because it was uncovered and unearthed by me. And that's why, people are angry around here and using all sort of words on me.
Okay, Senator. Now, you've raised and continue to raise several issues you termed as violations the company has been carrying out over the years, and you want to right the wrong. You want the Senate to help the people of Nimba right the wrong. I've been seeing I saw one social media post from your friend Buakai Jaliba, and then I saw you come back to say, look, Buakai, go to your oil company. I'm not prepared to come down to that level, so we'll be doing Facebook thing. Yeah. I think it's at the Senate. In the midst of all these things, Senator Twayen, what do you say to people who say, if Senator Twayen and other lawmakers of Nimba are not careful, they will kill cow and eat dry rice? In this context, they mean, are you contemplating on a bigger dialogue? Sit at the table with Asilometer, bring to his attention some of the violations so that you, as a caucus and people in the company, sit to have a conversation on how you move on. People think all these accusation and claims and counterclaims is going to hurt you, Nimba, in this case.
No, it won't. It will actually help Nimba and Liberia a lot. But before I go into that, let me just say, my friend and brother Manja Earth, I think he has some regrets. He should be having some regrets by now because he heard, as a former employee at Asilometer, you got all the rights to, to comment, whatever, which way you want by yourselves, but not to challenge facts that a lawmaker is putting out there. I'm not here to praising Asilometer. No. AML is not here to make friends with you and I. Clarence, the day that mountain runs out of iron ore, nobody from Asilometer will be around here. They will be in a penthouse suite in Paris and London and Bonn and laying out there enjoying themselves from our resources. So I'm not here to be, ringing praises onto Asilometer. You're writing, they face the railroad, they do. What you expect them to pass with our mineral to carry abroad to go sell if they don't face the railroad? So Mita actually just invested into infrastructure that they can use to take our resources out of here. And neglected the rest of the social responsibilities that the MDA calls for. So, to your point, we will not be the loser. We will not kill cow and eat dry rice. You know what we've been doing? We've actually been killing cow and eating dry rice. And that's what I don't want. As one of the new sheriff in town who is overseeing this coke out, we will actually kill the cow and eat some. Because what is happening is that Asilometer is killing the cow and clearing everything, and they're giving us bone to eat. And that will not happen. Let's go into a couple of things. Over the past years, what Mita has been doing is resort to more PR than doing what it's supposed to do. I will reiterate a couple of points. A few people have come in my inbox. Nya, you need to catalog what all Asilometer hasn't done so that we can be all the what. Look, I'm not here to do the executive job. As a lawmaker, I have an oversight and to raise issues. And the issues must be out there so that people can be unearthed to inform the interministerial committee on concession to do its job. And if you notice that hearing at the level of the Senate, Clarence, we didn't just bring ArcelorMittal. And I want the public to know that. That's why some of these Senate hearings, you should follow them. We brought in the Ministry of Finance, the NRC, the Bureau of Concession, the Ministry of Mines, the Ministry of Public Works. In that hearing, they concentrated the building Yikipa. The Public Works Minister categorically looked into that visit and said, you did not inform us. We don't know about it. How can you be putting that kind of infrastructure in our country? Our chief infrastructure minister doesn't know about it. They didn't approve of it or didn't know about that. The Lands and Mines Ministry should be receiving $100,000 every year from ArcelorMittal as of 2007 for research in mining and geology. $1 has not been given to the ministry since that time, confirmed by the Minister of Lands, Mines, and Energy. The Minister of Finance was in that meeting, proxied by the Deputy Minister. He outlined a whole lot of, financial issues that AMA is not living up to, including the 20% that they are deducting from the Social Development Fund. They are claiming that they gave up $5 million for the three countries every year. They are taking 20% of that $5 million to implement by themselves. No, if that 20%, in the wisdom of the legislature, in the wisdom of the then finance minister, Nya Twayen at the time and the legislature at the time, thought that the affected communities should have 20% of the Social Development Fund, then we don't need a middleman again to implement that. These are responsible people. If the country can be responsible enough to implement her own social development fund, then the districts and the chiefdoms that are affected are responsible enough to implement what they want. But you gave the money back to ArcelorMittal. Mittal set up a middleman. The middleman is the one implementing the project, and they have only implemented up to 40% of that money, and the rest are sitting in the banks with them. You see some of the challenges we are faced with. So these are some of the things. Let's go to the next one.